Alright, well, I just saw the new movie Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie, which is a sequel to Suicide Squad, which I know was not critically met well, but fans, on the other hand, were a little more welcome to it, about the DC supervillains. It seemed more like a fan service, really, but, Margaret Robbie, who plays Harley Quinn, you gotta give credit to her performance. She does a fantastic job as her, and in this movie is no exception. And plot-wise is that, if you saw the trailer, you know pretty much what the plot is. She breaks up with the Joker, and, well, she goes on her own ways. I didn't really know where they were gonna go with this at this point, so I try to keep an open mind to it and really see what the movie was going to do with it. You figure it's going to be a lot of stunts and a lot of crazy stuff that she was going to pull off, and she does a lot of that. And second of all, this one, unlike most of the DC comic movies that we're familiar with, are PG-13 rated, this one is actually R-rated. And I was like, wow, DC Comics is really going to go hardcore on this one? Well, you bet your ass they did. And I was pleasantly surprised with this one. After hearing mostly surprisingly positive reactions on this film, yeah, I was pleased with it. Which I sort of enjoyed Suicide Squad for what it was. Yes, we know DC comic movies have had a spotty history. We've had some really good ones like Wonder Woman, which I'm anticipating the sequel to it, which, not surprisingly, they showed the trailer before seeing this one. And, you got Aquaman, you got Shazam. And then you have other ones that are not so great, but have some good parts to them, like Batman v Superman and so forth. So, yeah, this one definitely pushed the envelope on what a DC comic, or I should say, one about supervillain can really do. There's no Batman in this one. None of the returning characters except Harley Quinn herself return from Suicide Squad or any of the Justice League, considering it exists in that universe, but except Harley Quinn. You got new characters like Canary. You got, of course, Black Mask, which basically this movie focuses on, aside from Harley Quinn's character. It goes back and forth between those two supervillains, per se, and basically it's about they're trying to get a very special diamond, which is involved with a mafia and all that. And basically, yeah, you could expect a lot of violence. There is even some graphic stuff because there's, you got Zaz, who you've probably seen briefly in Batman Begins. Not that this movie is trying to relate to that one. And no, this does not relate to the Joker movie that came out last year. That, again, is its own thing. But, yeah, it exists, as I said, in the Justice League universe. So it's more of a comic bookish movie. It has some dark moments, but it's very entertaining and has a lot of craziness, a lot of action. She buys the freaking hyena dog. I thought there was going to be more of that, having her lure that dog in to attack somebody, but you don't really see a lot of that. But yes, there's a lot of profanity, a lot of F-bombs being dropped, and plenty of good action, and eventually to that point, she does team up with a lot of the supervillains that you expect to see. So, it's a good time. I definitely enjoyed it for what it was. For a 2-hour runtime, there's lots of mischief, and there's a lot of narration and a lot of, backtracking plot-wise. So it actually almost reminds me of Deadpool a little bit. It sort of has that feel to it. Has her talking in the background, and occasionally it has a little bit of fourth wall humor to it that you come to expect. A lot of that slow motion, a lot of blood, and again, like I said, a lot of swearing. So it's got that real vibe to it, almost like the Deadpool movies, as I just said. And yeah, that's what makes it so enjoyable. So you either get it or you don't, but either way, I thought it was a really enjoyable, good time. So if you were disappointed with Suicide Squad, whether you listen to critics or not, don't worry, this one actually improves on a hell of a lot better. It definitely pushes the envelope of what a DC comic villain movie can really do. So for the most part, a really good time. I was definitely pleased with it. It shows that Harley Quinn can still be just as badass as ever. In fact, mostly it just revolves around female supervillain leads and what they're really capable of. It doesn't try to over-feminize, being that it's mostly female-led characters, and it just does what it's supposed to, just like Wonder Woman. And it's great to see that DC Comics is improving a hell of a lot better. As for post-credit scenes, there's nothing in the middle, but there is something after, which I wouldn't dare give away, but I would not fully recommend sitting through it. You may be like, wow, really, that's it? And that's what I felt like when I sat through it. Yeah, not really much of a scene per se, but overall, after all this, I can definitely say definitely a really fun time, but as I said, it's rated R, so parents be cautious about bringing kids to see this. It's very violent, but most importantly, a lot of F-bombs being dropped in this one, but there's no nudity in it. It's not R-rated for a dumb reason. So, my final verdict on this one, rockin' Wii Motion Plus up, and a plain Wii Remote up. Believe me, DC Comics has come a long way, and this is definitely proof of it right here. So, till next time, keep watching.